Showing it's after 5:45. It's our time now for our work session prior to the council meeting at 6:30. We have a couple items on the agenda. We'll have some discussion. I see an old bro back with us. I think we'll let Bill start out, if you will. We'll work our way around the department heads.
I have nothing.
I know you weren't here at the last meeting.
Right.
Good to see you again.
I'm substituting for Grace. Her two girls are graduating from elementary school, I think, where they are.
We appreciate you semi-retiring.
Yes.
Filling in, that's good, thank you. Allison?
Just thank you to Parks. We had the opportunity to get some of the old bleacher wood, but we had the opportunity last minute and Parks pitched in and got it moved for us from the intermediate school, so we really appreciate that.
You gonna do something real creative with it?
We think so.
Okay. Chief?
I just have one item on the agenda.
Okay. James, you wanna chime in from back there? You got any way to talk to us?
Sure. The only update is we are on the final steps of the app for the Main Street sales tax reporting, or special event sales tax reporting. So we should have that finished hopefully by the end of this week, first of next week, but definitely well ahead of schedule for our next First Friday event.
Okay. Chief?
We had our second torch run for Calera last week, and I talked to Chief about fire department participating. That's not normally the way it's done, but this year the fire department participated, and I was glad they did because we learned about Wendy Ray, firefighter Daryl Ray's sister, who was an Olympic athlete for 20 years, also spoke around the country as an ambassador for the Special Olympics. And so what we want to do is dedicate our run from now on to Wendy. I got to meet her father, and Daryl got to carry the torch with us. So I think that was an awesome thing, and we're going to continue to partner with the fire department from now on doing that in honor of Wendy. This Thursday night from 6 to 7 at Waterford Clubhouse, we'll be having our second parent night for our CASE program, and the topic will be teen mental health. And we've got some partners that'll be there. Some Central Alabama Wellness will be there to help us show parents some signs to look out for with mental health issues, and we'll be telling them where to get help. So that will be this Thursday night, 6 o'clock at Waterford Clubhouse. Our CASE camp that we're doing for the first time this summer, I believe I've told you guys about, it will be for the 5th graders that are going into 6th grade next year to get them ready for middle school. There are several other areas around the county that do a similar thing, but we want to do it for our kids. So we're full. We've got a full roster of kids that are signed up now. And some of the topics that we're going to have somebody from the weather, Fox 6, one of the weather people, come and talk to them about different careers. We're going to have a reporter speak to them. We're going to have law enforcement speakers and all different type of professionals come out and talk to the kids. The purposes are to prepare them for middle school, but also we're going to be teaching these kids manners and etiquette and professionalism and things that we think are lacking with a lot of our kids, unfortunately, in the United States today. Leadership is going to be a big focus of the first CASE Kids Camp. So when we get that, it's in July. I can't remember the exact date, but it'll be in July. And of course, after we get done, we'll report back to you. And if it's successful, it's probably something that we would like to continue. I think we're in our second vape class session now, and we've got one more. The third one will begin, I believe, begins this week as well. So we'll be running these last two roughly at the same time. But these kids will have to come through the next several weeks on into the summer. And we'll complete this year. This semester we will have had 3 vape cessation classes. And we'll pick those back up in the fall as well. That's kind of an update with where we are on those things.
All right. Seth?
A couple things. One, we started, or starting, that's a better way to put it, we'll call it Adult League Chicago Ball or Smash Ball. This is a game that we played about 5 years for a coach's game. And we bet it out, we put it out, the information already out for a week, and we already have enough to play, which is great. We think a whole lot more people are gonna sign up. Basically, it's a big yellow ball, you throw it. We've only had one person ever hit it out to the park in 5 years, so it's kind of a hard ball to hit. It's actually a gloveless league. We let people use gloves, but you cannot use gloves. Anyway, that's something we're starting for adults. We hope that a lot of people will come and play that. The way it'll work is for the first year, we're not doing a team registration, we're just doing single individual. There's no cost. Basically, it'd be like a pickup game. So, you know, if 36 people come, then we'll split it up between 2 fields and we'll divide it. We'll have a captain, and just like you did in your backyard the other day, and play. And hopefully as it grows, then we'll do team registration, but we didn't want to get stuck on not having enough teams sign up. It's a whole lot easier to do it as individual than team for the first year. So we do have that. We hope adults will come out. Also, the open gym, that schedule is now out, since basketball season's been over. Monday night is ping pong and pickleball. Tuesday is basketball, Wednesday is ping pong, pickleball, Thursday is basketball, and Sunday is basketball. And anyway, Monday through Thursday is 6 to 9, and Thursday is 5 to 8. Also, we have a ping pong tournament coming up June the 8th. The first one we had was a really good turnout. We hope that this one will be a good one as well. I played in it. It was a lot of fun. And then lastly, the next council meeting, Dr. Harvey will be here to give his report on the school feasibility study. So that will be next council meeting. My recommendation is it's just a public meeting. Don't make it a public hearing. Allow him to come here. You guys have the opportunity to ask any questions y'all have. But I don't recommend making it a public hearing where the public has an opportunity. Not for the first one. I think it's the time for you guys to hear it. That's just my opinion. Y'all can do whatever you like to do. But he would come here, give a presentation. Again, that'll be next Monday. Next council meeting. I believe it's June the 3rd. He'll be here to give that presentation.
I don't have anything, sir.
Bill?
Yeah, I've got some 3 areas of paving, I think of interest, that I'd like to bring a proposal to the next council meeting for possibly putting in the budget for this year, to try to get it in while the weather's good for paving, versus waiting until the new budget year. You start getting the fall and winter and everything. So we've got prices, not bad prices really at all, but I'd like to bring that to y'all in the next council. I think it says June 3rd, but we did get pricing on it, and really pricing's not that bad, so pretty reasonable. But I did want to make you aware of that'd be something we would like to try to get into this year versus waiting until the next budget cycle for the weather.
Anything else?
I think that's all I got. I don't have anything, sir.
All right. It's over. Department Hughes, Katie?
Thank you. I want to say good evening to our mayor, council members, department heads, and citizens. My first area of concern is with Public Works. There is again excessive litter and dumping at County Road 306 and Alabama 25 going north, right there where it has been several times. And we've had discussions in the past regarding installing solar-powered cameras in that area. Remember?
I don't, but I don't know that I can enforce anything with a camera. That would be a chief question, even if I have can you write a ticket just off of a tag number, chief?
No, the officer has to witness it. A misdemeanor or a violation has to be witnessed by the officer. Now, you could find out, I guess, first you got to buy that kind of equipment, but you could find out I guess, who's doing it and maybe address it with them personally, but wouldn't be able to write a ticket based on seeing something. There's also some, the cities that have had traffic cameras, there's been legal challenges to those. And so that's a questionable area legally in Alabama. A lot of cities that have had those have had to remove them, traffic cameras. I believe some cities still do it, but they have some private companies that are involved in the billing and that sort of thing. So it's very controversial in Alabama.
So it's still not a possibility then. So what is the remedy? What can we do to stop them from doing that?
For people from littering,
Just excessive littering. It's just not a cup or, soda can. It's just like they're dumping in household trash or something.
yeah, we can try to put those areas on extra patrol and try to catch someone, but it's like anything else. We've got a lot of square miles to cover, but we can certainly add that area to extra patrol and try. We absolutely can do that.
Okay. So, like I said, Bill, we just need your help in getting it cleaned up again. Okay, thanks. My next issue is for Chief Kendricks, Fire Department. Do you have any advisement on fireworks this upcoming holiday weekend? Residents are asking if it's okay to enjoy fireworks in the subdivisions. So is the burn ban still?
We have a fireworks ordinance, and we have, some allotted times around the 4th and around New Year's that fireworks are permitted. So, obvious common sense more than anything. And obviously, don't mix fireworks and alcohol. That tends to keep us kind of busy every year when fireworks season comes around. But just use common sense. Yeah.
So it's okay in the subdivision?
Yes.
Okay.
Within reason, I know that kind of gets into a law enforcement issue if people are, exceeding the limits of what would be considered normal fireworks, time-wise and that sort of thing. But we haven't really had any bad issues. If there were, problems with people, doing it all night, I think we've asked them to stop and they did. So.
Okay. All right, good deal. Thank you. Also, regarding ordinance number 2024, the special event sales tax remittance, what efforts are we making to inform the special event vendors about the sales tax law? Are we posting this on the city's website to make the vendors aware?
James, I guess that can be posted once you get that all set up, can it?
Yes, once we get everything posted, once we get everything completed, we can post that. Like I said, we're finishing up the actual payment processing part of it to where it goes from the website securely to our credit card company. And so once that's all done, then yes, we'll post it in our normal forms section on the website. And then we, by the time that first event is, we'll have an actual app that can be downloaded from the App Store, and we can pass that along to our vendors. I'll be happy to get something together for Jackie, give it to her that she can give to the vendors or email it out to them with a QR code for the app and all that kind of stuff. But yes, we'll put that on our website as well.
Okay, can you also post a tutorial on how to use the app?
Yes, ma'am. It's pretty self-explanatory. Basically, there's a button on the front page that says special event sales tax, and they just click on that, and it pops up the form they need to fill out.
Okay. Well, that is all that I have, and just want to wish everyone a safe Memorial Day weekend.
Jackie, do you have any other way that you would like to notify or something you could handle? Is there anything that you would like to?
Well, we are already getting out the form, and they are notified of, this obligation up front with their packet, everything that they sign. And I even give a follow-up. I give a PDF again the day or two before, I guess it's the Wednesday before, that we send out the map and the logistics details. So they're reminded again then. But I would appreciate anything else that James puts together. A QR code may make it even simpler.
Okay.
Yeah, so that, but I think we're letting people know.
Okay. Okay, on that, the fireworks Fireworks holiday, are you talking about this weekend?
Yeah, Memorial Day.
I think, if I'm not mistaken with our ordinance, it may only address 2 times a year.
It's 4th of July.
I think it only, just to clarify everything, I know what answer you got, but I think it's only for 4th of July and maybe a little time during that period and then New Year's Eve.
Okay, it's just, so the public needs to know that then, that they're not supposed to be doing it, the fireworks this weekend. So,
Section 740, James.
okay.
Just to clarify everything, James, I think we may need to share that
Right.
and boost that information out, before the weekend, but
I think I misunderstood you. I didn't realize you were referring to this upcoming weekend.
I'm just trying to clarify.
Yeah,
I
that's what I was,
Shouldn't be.
Yeah.
thought I knew what you were asking.
That new place is.
That's right.
I meant this weekend, but, yeah.
So no fireworks for Memorial Day.
No fireworks for Memorial Day, okay, so will we also post that on the website, so?
That's what I asked James. to do.
Right.
He'll get it cleared up.
Yeah, I'll take care of that on social media and website.
Okay, great, thank you, that's all I have.
Debbie?
Thank you, Mayor. I want to take the opportunity to say congratulations and best wishes to our graduating class of 2024. We have a great group of kids that are graduating this year, and I had the pleasure and enjoyed seeing them during their senior walk and cheer them on. So I think we all need to be very proud of these senior kids.
That's good stuff. They'll go and do big things and come back to our city.
I hope so.
Kenny Dell?
Yes, sir, I'm gonna verify one thing with you about the Main Street area. I know the playground is fixed to be under construction, so will our city employees fence that area off? And will we still be able to use the pavilions and the restaurants?
We discussed that, Bill, about fencing around the newly constructed playground. I know that the liability of some of that going forward obviously would be on us and the installer that we bought the playground equipment from. So proper fencing, I don't want any child hurt, I don't want anybody hurt, especially no children, so I guess the playground is
The playground-
off limits until it's completed,
Until it's
correct?
completed, yeah. Yeah, it'll be
I
off
understand the playground will be off limits, but what about the pavilion? Will we be able to use the pavilion during our Main Street events and the restrooms there?
I don't see restrooms being a problem. The pavilion might be a problem, because once the playground is in, then we'll start the sidewalks and that concrete work. And I don't know, we'll just have to stage it out and see how we can corner that off, because once it's colored and stamped, you want to keep people off of it till you can seal it, to protect it. So it just depends on.
Is that in schedule before the next first Main Street event?
What day is it?
June the 7th, we've got about 2.5 more weeks.
Shoot. Yeah, they'll probably start some of it, I would hope.
I mean, if it is, we just need to know what they can move.
We could probably start on the sides over there, do those. I don't know that, we might not be in a position to do the sidewalk up at the front, to where we'd have to block that off. I
I
might see if
think
he
the
can.
biggest thing is, Bill, if we'd be able to use the pavilion and be able to get to the restrooms, the rest of it, we could rope it off.
Yeah, restrooms shouldn't be a problem. I don't think, I'll just have to, we'll see what we can work out to try to keep that part of
If you see a
it.
problem with it, let me or Jackie
Yeah,
know.
we'll let you know if we,
Make sure we get everything squared away on that. Back to the, sales tax. I know all of these people was issued the proper paperwork prior to the Main Street event prior to the Strawberry Festival. But have they followed by the rules that was given to them, and how they paid their taxes up to date now? And what are we gonna do if they hadn't paid their taxes up at this point? I know this is something that's gonna come up with a public hearing, but, and who's gonna be the city representative that's gonna be in charge of making sure that each one of these people is held responsible? So that's something I want the council to think about when we move into the public hearing. Other than that, Mayor, I'm through.
All right. Kevin?
Yes, thank you, Mayor. I just have two questions. One to Reggie. Reggie, I just want to get clarity on something. I was at the planning and zoning the other night, and when they were talking about the rezoning of that R1 and R2 property, can you explain to me, if I came in today and got a permit to do something like that, explain to me what's the process for going from a residential to a business, this step?
The permit was taken out, and he knew, which we talked to him, the risk if he didn't get rezoned, which if he wanted to go in there and do what he did right now and leave it as a residential, he could have done it the same exact way. There's nothing, he did everything like a commercial building that you can live in. So if it was to get turned down, I don't know what's going to be the outcome of that. It can stay residential. So it's, instead of him coming in there and doing it, I guess remodeling it for residential and then wanting to go commercial with it, which he'd had to go back and do it, he just went ahead and did it this way. Because, like I said, everything's wired for commercial and on the rules and regulations for that, and he can live in that. You know, just walk away on the stairs. He made the bathroom bigger for ADA, which it doesn't matter what size it is for residential.
So what's the checklist on a situation like this? We residential, and then we're gonna go to B2. So when we go to B, looks like to me, and it was said in the meeting, that we went in this backwards.
We did.
So we went in it backwards. So the city employees,
We didn't, he did.
Yeah,
who's he?
The owner of the,
Who's the owner?
what's his name? Lauren Richardson. Or
At the
Richards.
time, it showed me on April the 2nd, on the iPad, Katie sent it out to me, to all of us on our pad. The permit was issued to Lauren, that's his name, Lauren.
Yeah.
The permit was issued to Lauren. Okay. Was he the owner at that time?
As far as, yeah.
Are you sure?
And I don't know about dates. I don't know what date he bought the place, but he was,
Now, I ain't looking at, I'm not looking at you for that, I'm looking at you because you're the zoning board person, so my thing of it is we have a checklist, Gabby, and we should go by the checklist. Who's the owner of it? And if it changed hands in between, we're going from residential to B2.
I don't think,
Something seemed wrong to me.
I don't think it changed hands. I mean, he's still
I was
the
told
guy.
Brian Pascal owned a piece of property.
He did.
he sold it to Lauren.
Okay, and then it went to Lauren.
Right.
So
Brian,
who permitted the job?
Lauren did it first, and then Sam Graham. He's got his contractor's license. He did the permit for the entire job.
Is the property, the buffer zones and all that in?
Not yet, but it will be.
Have we issued a CO?
No.
No.
Okay. Oh, I know we got checklists that was put in place a few years back, make sure we go by the proper steps. And it seemed like something went a little backwards on that to me. Now,
Well, see,
I
he
know
did
I
it.
jumped in.
He did it
I
backwards.
hear Kevin in the conversation, but the employees are responsible to make sure that checklist is right, or we don't have nothing to come back on.
Well, he knows the risk of doing it backwards. He knows if he does not get this rezoning, he can't put his business in there.
Well, the zoning board, the zoning board done approved this. So
No, it'll come to y'all.
it's coming to us. Okay. As long as we cover our,
Yeah, he's aware that he can't put his business there if he does not get his rezoning.
Yeah, if he gets his rezoning, his business can go there. If he doesn't, it stays residential and he can rent it out, sell it as a house or move in it. But it can't be a business, but he can be lived in as a house, just like it is right now.
isn't it a rule, now just let me ask you a question. Now, years ago, I knew if a house was in commercial district, B2, and it stayed vacant, and it was used for residential, and it stayed vacant for over a year, does that go back to B2?
If it's some houses out on Main Street, they are just B2 and people still live in them. They can continue to live in there as long as somebody lives there. If it stays, I think it is a year. If it stays vacant,
a year.
and you prove it stays vacant, nobody's lived in it for a year, it reverts to B2.
B2. Okay, that's what I thought. I'm sorry, Kevin.
That's okay. And Rich, one of the reasons I was asking that question, because I went by there and I noticed the outside as far as the cement, the whole, excuse me, the whole driveway, cemented, and there's this big, beautiful deck, ramp that was added onto that. So that kind of stood out, and I'm like, for this to take place, and you guys are right across the street and pass through and see this, so that makes sense what you said. But the only other thing I have there is this, what you just given us today about this ordinance. Are we voting on this tonight?
Yeah, it's on the agenda to enter that, or accept the offer. You have the contract, I think, in your hands.
So were we able to get an appraisal done on that property first? We didn't pay for the appraisal. So Did they pay for them?
I don't know if they're paying for one or not. Is it requested in there? I don't think that they are paying for an appraisal. I don't think they've requested one. We're not paying for one.
It's just, I guess it just kind of caught me off guard when, we just brought this up. I think I brought this up to the council attention, and maybe 2 months ago, a month ago, and all of a sudden we got an offer on the table for it. So I just kind of caught that kind of strange. But that's all I have.
Alan?
Yeah, just follow up on that. Where is this property?
I think it's Joinertown Road, but it's not connected to Joinertown Road, is that what?
No, it's in Columbiana on what's called Joinertown Road. Most of it is on the northeast side. There's a few little pieces of it that's on the southwest side of the road. But it's got road frontage on Joinertown Road.
Is it on Joinertown Road?
So the property is in Columbiana city limits,
Yes.
That's true.
and the city of Calera owns it.
It was donated to the city of Calera.
It's beautiful footage and frontage of the property right up from the school, the middle school. It's right down the street from it. It's very nice.
So,
Ernest?
One thing I have, Mayor, is to follow on and also that resolution on 2024-05. What else can you tell about the property? I don't know whether another council member had knowledge of what's going on. I looked back and I thought all this year, but I haven't been in the meeting this year. And I can't recall this in the meeting last year. I don't remember even having dialogue on this. I remember it was brought up by one of the council members about a week, probably a couple of weeks ago, maybe 3 weeks. What else can, and I'm asked at one of the members here to vote on this tonight, and I don't know anything about the property. What can you share?
It was, when did the property get, the estate, Patricia and Maurice Bird that owned this building, that had that property over a long period of time anyway. Maurice passed away after we bought this building. And Miss Bird was living in South Calera, and now she is in a nursing home. So when was that property donated to the city?
It was donated on December 23rd, 2020 from Miss Patricia Bird. It used to be owned by Bird Building Materials, the company.
That's right.
And then after the death of a couple of the Bird family members, it was all, the survivors deeded it all to Miss Patricia. And then she donated it to the city of Calera in December of 2020. At that time, according to the property tax market valuation, it was worth $132,350.
That's the history of the property. And I don't think the city of Calera has any interest in developing property in Columbiana. I know that when the son of the Bird, Miss Bird's son, mentioned and told me they just wanted to get the property out of the estate, he mentioned the fact that the county, he had asked the county Board of Education if they wanted to buy the property, and there was no interest. That's what Butch told me and conveyed to me. So they tried to get the Board of Education, because one of the schools is touching, or it adjoins maybe one of the school's property. So.
Well, I'm a lifetime resident here in the city, and of course I know the Birds, and I'm very appreciative, as a citizen from Warford, donating to the city. The only, when I saw that the issue with me about it is the transparency of the process, 2020. Did we do it to the attorney? Isn't it? Is the city required to do a resolution of accepting property when it's donated to the city?
There was an acceptance, a written acceptance attached to the deed. I do not know what process had gone through the city leading up to that acceptance, but there is one attached to the deed.
Was it, maybe the clerk can answer that?
It wasn't brought to council, they just donated it.
Does it?
People donate property, they donated several pieces of property to us.
Yes, I've known over the years that property has been donated, but we always did a resolution to accept that property, and I just wondered whether that lawful, is that the law?
All of it went through the office.
There's not a requirement of an official resolution accepting donations. It just takes some action on behalf of the city to do it, but there's not any kind of statute requiring a formal acceptance of a donation.
And, Mayor, I just wanted to, I all seem great, everything seemed great, and of course, the resolution seemed great. It's just that the only issue I have with this, or with some other thing that happened, is the transparency. I mean, maybe the rest of the council may have already known it. Maybe I didn't have any information. I don't remember having any dialogue on it. And although it seemed like the resolution seemed like a great thing, I hope from here forward, when we have stuff like that, there'll be more dialogue of transparency, so all the council members can know exactly going on before it just hit us at this area. Can you please make sure that?
And my only thing also is that, with this being the city property, that we consider reaching out to the city of Columbiana and seeing if there's an offer or something that they would be interested in as far as, being municipality property. I don't know who this company is or anything, but, for this price, maybe it would be of interest to them. Is that lawful?
Yes, you don't have to approve the sale of the property under this contract. You can delay it or for further study and make other inquiries to see if there's anyone else that would offer more or would have some use for it, including the city of Columbiana.
And is this our only offer?
It just came to the city of Calera, and it's the only offer I've heard. So, again, we don't have the property on the market, so, anything is, I guess from this point, anything is fine to do if you want to seek other offers, or if you want to, from my understanding from Butch, the county board of education did not have any interest in it. And I haven't asked the city of Columbiana anything.
And how long do you think that's been, John, since the county, when they was approached about that?
That was back in, we've had it, I guess, since 2020, is that right? So it was prior to that.
Okay.
And the dialogue came up after we bought this property from the family. The city bought this, where we're sitting, from the Bird family. So that's when the dialogue was started. Somebody wants to give the city 40 acres or 35 acres, whatever it is, the city.
I've been to the property, so I've looked at it just recently. It's a pretty rough piece of property.
The county had the dirt, I think, but Bill, you'll know more about that. The county highway department hauled church out of that. It was a county church pit.
Yeah, they had a church pit.
From Harrisburg, I think.
Yes. And on the far eastern part of the property, there's a little unimproved road called Hub Lee Road that comes into the back. And I don't know if it was used for anything on the back side of the property or not.
Well, the total's 5,500 an acre.
I've never set foot on the property. I can't tell you what the property looks like.
It's pretty hilly. Bunch of it up front. Some of it goes across, a little bit goes across Joynertown Road, which is don't look like it's very much usable land there. But I've been to the property.
Looks like a nice offer on the price.
I have a quick question. I see that the offer that they're giving us, but they also want to deduct title insurance and seller's portion of closing costs. Can we not agree to that?
We can do anything, I think we can do anything we want to do. We can straighten out or change I told Connie, I said, we need to put this on, when we got this offer, I said, we need to put it on the agenda. I don't know exactly how to handle it.
I understand.
It's my first, I've never been given this property.
So you've got the sum, and if I'm reading this right, you correct me if I'm wrong though, amount of title insurance and the seller's portion of closing costs. So can we take this sum that's being offered and not pay anything, let the buyer buy it, pay it?
Only if the proposed purchaser agrees to it. you would be making a counter offer, saying, hey, we like your price, but we don't want to pay any of these fees. And it will be up to the purchaser whether or not to accept that counter offer or not.
Grace had me put that sentence in there because we have to pay half of the attorney's fee according to Grace.
And title insurance. Yeah, and I think it's title insurance premium. And then there's a customary proration of property taxes, but y'all have owned it long enough to where you shouldn't have any tax bill to divide up.
It's, the tax has been assessed in the city's money.
But we're not in no rush for this, are we?
I think the buyer expressed a, concern for wanting us to expedite this transaction, so I don't think they put an actual date. Well, they have put a closing date prior to the 30th.
July?
Yeah, that's what they've set out for the closing date.
Any advice from you, Mr. Justice?
You got a lot of, a range of responses. You can either accept it as it's written, or you can hold off on taking action till you gather more information. You can make a counteroffer with different terms, not just doing away with the closing expenses, but you can counteroffer for a higher price if you think it's worth more. And you can look for other purchasers. You can say, well, we don't want to do this right now. So you've got a big range of responses that you can make.
And if I may ask again, you did say 100 and some thousand at the time of it was done there? Appraisal price?
Yes. To record deeds nowadays, you have to verify the value of what's being transferred to pay the recording tax. We used to be able to say $10 and transfer a deed, and the state was missing out on recording tax, and so now they require some definite information, either a sales price that is verified by a contract or a closing statement, or an appraisal, or if you don't have either one of those, you use the tax value. Since this was a gift to the city, there wasn't a sales price to use, and there wasn't an appraisal done back then. And so the tax value is what was used, and that was the $132,350. And that would have been the value as of October 1st of 2020.
Set by the county.
Yes, sir.
I'm showing this time. Alan, you do want to open this up?
Okay, Father God, we come to you and just thank you for what you do for us. We ask for your forgiveness for the faith. We want to say a special prayer for the graduating seniors this season, and we ask that you lead, guide, and direct their thoughts and actions as they move into this new part of their life. And we ask that you be with us as we move to make decisions for the city. In Jesus' name. Amen. I pledge allegiance
to the flag of the United States of America, and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
All right, the first item I have on the agenda is the approval of the agenda as presented.
Make a motion.
Got a motion? Motion and a second. All in favor, say aye. Aye. Now need to move on the approval of the minutes for our regular meeting, our work session on May 6th. I hear a motion to approve and dispense.
I make the motion.
I second.
Got a motion and a second, all in favor, say aye. Aye. Chief, you got a little swearing-in ceremony for us?
Do. Tonight, I want to introduce Cameron Davis and Libby Ziegler. They've both been with us for a little while. We've had trouble getting our schedules together to get this done. And Libby is one of our dispatchers, and she has experience as a jailer, which is very valuable to us. Our dispatchers help out with some of our jailer duties as well. And Cameron, I've been hearing about for a while. He was in a neighboring agency, and I kept hearing his name over and over again as somebody who was always doing a lot of extra things to help us out. And we appreciate having an opportunity for Cameron to work here. So Cameron, I'm going to administer your oath. If you'll place your left hand on the Bible and raise your right hand, repeat after me. On my honor,
On my honor,
I will never betray my badge,
I will never betray my badge,
my integrity,
my integrity,
my character,
my character,
or the public trust.
or the public trust.
I will always have the courage
I will always have the courage
to hold myself
to hold myself
and others accountable
and others accountable
for our actions.
for our actions.
I will always uphold
I will always uphold
the Constitution,
the Constitution,
my community,
my community,
and the agency I serve.
and the agency I serve,
So help me God.
so help me God.
I always read a Bible verse too, because every year I've been here 4 years, going on my fifth, the number of police officers killed in the line of duty has gone up every year, and we're set for it to be even higher this year in this country. And I think this is a verse that means a lot to me, and it means a lot to the people who do this job. This is my command: love one another as I have loved you. No one has greater love than this, to lay down his life for his friends. And I also want to add that our dispatchers, a lot of departments are getting away from dispatching. They're not just dispatchers, they're our communications officers, but we also have a developing real-time crime center. And when the officers are out in the field, these are their eyes and ears, this is their lifeline for help. And we take that very seriously, and we hire very good, high-quality people to be our dispatchers as well. And I'm very proud to have both of these folks on board. Jesse, you want to come up and get in the picture? I don't want your wife mad at me, so if you want to do that. Come on. Good. Under arrest. Wish we had an IT department.
Rescue's on the way.
And they give you a gun.
Yeah, that wasn't part of my hiring test.
All right, the next item on the agenda is the public hearing at this time for the special event sales tax remittance, ordinance 2024-02. Is there anybody here from the public that wants to speak out or criticize or compliment? Come forward, now's your time for everyone to piece. Any dialogue from the council? This is just Kelly's introduced it last meeting to get us all on board with collecting and remitting the sales tax in our special events, so.
So just voted on, we have to do 3 or just two, just 2 public hearings?
This is-
So we will do 3.
We're
We're ready to vote tonight, okay.
There's no discussion, I'll close the public hearing. At this time, council can make that motion that we approve that policy that Kelly's put forth for us.
I make the motion, Mayor, on 2024, too.
Got a motion
Second.
and a second, all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed likewise. Resolution 2024-33 is policies, or police policies and crisis response teams, several things that we've been working on to update. Nothing unusual, something that Chief has brought for us.
One thing I would like to say, I'm sorry, some of these recent ones, we've had some conflicting data in there, or some conflicting points that are different than the city policy. We always go to the city policy if there's something conflicting. I didn't know if anybody had that concern. There's also some policies that already exist in the city. We're not rewriting a new one. If the city has a policy in a certain area, we just use the city policy. I think it's dangerous to have multiple about the same topic because you don't want to have any conflicting language. So just wanted to clarify. And this is the first time that has come up. We actually had several more we went over, but we chose not to bring those to you because the city already had an existing policy that covered those topics.
Any discussion from the council? Now I need a motion. I need a motion for unanimous consent if we'll move forward.
I motion for unanimous consent.
Got a motion for unanimous consent?
I second.
Motion and a second. All in favor, say aye. Aye. Now I need a motion to adopt.
Make a motion to adopt.
I second.
Got a motion and a second. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Now we have one of our city clerk is confusing me. The next item on the agenda is Justin Glass recognition for retirement.
Yeah, you need unanimous consent to him to retire.
She's confusing me.
One of the-
I'm on track and she's
Listen,
moving.
this is a bittersweet moment for us. Justin has served the city since 1999. I believe he was one of the first group of full-time firefighters that got hired with the city. And we've reached that moment where that group is starting to retire off. And 25 years in this business is tough on the mind and tough on the body. So we're glad that you made it. We're going to miss you. And you can see by the guys that are here tonight that you live with somebody, work with them 24 hours, at a time. You become family. And so your family, you always will be. But congratulations on your retirement. And we have a proclamation here from the governor of Alabama. I'm going to read for you. Governor Kay Ivey, State of Alabama, has presented this certificate of recognition to Mr. Justin Glass. This certificate is presented in recognition of your retirement from 25 years of service to the City of Calera effective June 1st, 2024. On behalf of the State of Alabama, congratulations and best wishes on your retirement. Governor Kay Ivey.
See whose turn is that? Sure, you're taller.
Sure. I'm excited about the upcoming.
I can't hear you.
I'm excited about the upcoming new leadership in terms of guys that are going to be moving through the ranks within the fire department, as well as the new hirees, bringing new ideas, new enthusiasm to the department. And it's my hopes that the administration, the fire administration, as well as the city, embraces and fosters that. I'm also thankful to the city of Calera for giving me the opportunity 25 years ago to fulfill one of my chapters of my life in being a firefighter. It's definitely been tough at times, but I'm glad to have made it to this point. And I hope that I'll be remembered for the good times and not so much the bad and the ugly. And I'm grateful and appreciate this. God bless.
Those are special moments. Each of our employees we cherish and we try to protect and hold on to. And some of you choose to work here for 25 years and retire. Some choose different paths, but we appreciate every one of you. And thank you, Justin, especially. Ordinance 2024, back to school sales tax holiday. I do need unanimous consent on this.
I move for unanimous consent.
I second.
Got a motion and a second, unanimous consent. All in favor, say aye. Aye. I need a motion to adopt.
I move.
Got a motion and a second. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Ordinance 2024-05 is what you have before you, the offer for piece of real estate that's owned by the city of Calera that's actually not in the city of Calera. So it's all unusual to me, but it's an opportunity for us. I guess I need your direction on what to do. It's something that you would have to authorize me to sign. It's a contract, so.
Where will the proceeds from the sale of the property, what will they be used for? Will it go to the general fund or capital projects?
They'll go to the general fund, you know, and then you can apportion that to the whatever capital projects, but there's no specific, you know, I heard Bill up here talking about some paving that we need to do, so we've got needs, and back to his request, you know, paving, you know, we obviously need to have the money to pave, but paving needs to come at just certain times of the year, so a lot of that we need to act on. You know, the budget's something that we obviously can change and alter throughout the year, but this would be some money that we could spend wisely.
So we can move forward with paving projects instead of, like he said, waiting until we go through the next budget?
That's massive. I mean, you know, if he's coming forth, you know, in the next meeting needs money, that's, you know, there is money if we move forward with something like this. It's revenue, and it's, may not have been described and you know, announced, and I think sometimes property, you know, purchases and sales or involvement, you know, sometimes it's advantageous not to disclose every little aspect of it, but in this case, this was property that was given to the city, and we have the right to sell it, and that's what's on the table tonight. So the money would be revenue that the city deemed necessary to spend however.
So the tax assessor's office had it assessed at $226,460. The other price is $209.
Is it assessed at 226?
The tax assessor's office assessed it for $226,460 this year.
And we're gonna sell it for $209.
That's on the table.
That's, the offer.
The buyer of this property, the one that made the offer, are they residents of Columbiana, do you know that?
It's a group, and I don't think they live in Columbiana. I think they own the property adjacent to it, which would be north of it. So that's the reason that from what I can gather, that's the reason they're interested. because they have property that joins the north side. And they told me on the phone in conversation that, they said, this property is rough. I haven't set foot on this property. But they said there's about 5 acres, 6 acres that touches a part of theirs, is what makes them want to buy.
But isn't it mostly custom that we, regardless, I mean, especially if you're dealing with this number, that we get an appraisal on the property, and not just take the word of the person that's purchasing the property?
It's not come up in the past, it's not come up, you know, I don't know that we've had a piece of property like this donated to the city. But you could do many things. You could hold a public auction, I guess, couldn't you, Bill?
Yes, you could. And the law doesn't require you to get an appraisal, but you, in your consideration of this offer, if you want some verification that it's in the right ballpark of the fair market value, then you can get an appraisal. You can negotiate with a purchaser and have the purchaser pay for the appraisal. I mean, that's, you know, it's all up to y'all what you want to do on that.
My thing is, it seems like a pretty fair price. It is under what it appraised for the tax collectors, but if they approached us, I wouldn't want to have to be responsible for paying any of the title insurance or any of the closing costs. Could the buyer be responsible for that?
We can do it.
Yes, you can make a counter offer that you don't want to pay, you know, you're willing to sell, but you're not going to agree to pay those costs. And if they want to buy it, they would have to agree. Then you can't make them do it, they can just withdraw their offer. But you can make a counter offer and change the terms on what you would agree to.
You could have a counter offer that says you walk away from the table with X amount of dollars.
I'd rather walk away with the total amount that's being offered than having anything else deducted. They reached out to us, so I think that's a bargaining chip for us to say, hey, we'll take your offer, but you have to pay the common insurance and the closing costs. That's how I feel about it. I mean, I'm open for dialogue on the other table, other end.
You know, I got one offer I want to put on the table. $226,460, tax assessors. Price on the property, 0 on the closing, title insurance, 0. See if they accept it. So, I'd like, I guess, to make a motion that the council counter back at $226,460, 0 on the closing, 0 on the title insurance.
We got a motion on the table.
I agree. I mean, yeah, I second.
Okay, we got a motion and a second. All in favor, say aye. Aye. Opposed likewise. So that motion carries. Before we do this, it just dawned on me, do we need to deem this, I mean, before we actually make a transaction, does this need to be deemed surplus?
The ordinance did.
What you are asking for them to do is amend their offer and come back with a contract with those terms. And when that contract comes back, that's when you will consider the ordinance saying, yeah, it's surplus and we agree to sell it on this contract. You don't need to do that now.
Okay.
You just wait.
So I'll convey that information and we'll do the ordinance in the next meeting. All right,
I'm Terrell Wax, as most of you already know me on the board up here. I'm the president of Waterford Homeowners Association. My main reason for being here tonight was to ask a few questions because I think we're getting information crossed somewhere with some stuff that's going on as far as information about speed bumps in our neighborhood and stuff like that. And I guess I'm kind of conflicted with the fact that I'm the president of the subdivision, and I think most anybody in this city knows how to get a hold of me on any level. And nobody has contacted me from this panel about any of this information. But it was stated in our homeowners meeting the other night that certain city council members are going to an individual in our subdivision, relaying all this information, saying there's like $90,000 of funds available for us to use. That was my first hearing of it, but I would like to personally ask Ms. Kay, have you had any knowledge of this? Have you been going talking to some of our residents about this?
Certainly have not. And the information regarding the speed bumps is on the website, and I was working with Mr. Hilliard regarding speed bumps for as getting the information out. But like I said, it's on the website. So I hadn't spoken to anyone in your subdivision regarding the speed bumps, though. They would need to reach out to us, or you would need to reach out to us regarding your subdivision needing speed bumps. And then we would give you the information as far as the application, as to how to move forward, what procedures you need to follow. Right.
Ms. Byers, what about you?
Yes, Miss Lydia did ask me about that, and I...
Can I refer, you just said she asked you about this.
She did, and I directed her to the website and to Bill Hilliard. Is that correct, Miss? I think it's Godwin?
Okay. I can pull my phone out and show you the message from our Facebook page that says, you guys came to her. And did you by certain chance, Mr. Cost, come to her with this?
I didn't come up there for that meeting. I just come to be part of the HOA. I know nothing about the speed bumps, speed humps. I just looked up to our personnel to make a decision on that, and you to file your paperwork for it.
Okay. Thanks, sir. What about you, Mr. Morgan?
No.
What's your name? So I can't read the thing. What's this gentleman right here? I can't see the glare. Mr. Watts, have you had any knowledge of this? What about you, Mr. Montgomery? Okay. Well, again, my point is, we discussed the speed bumps about the subdivision. I do want to follow the protocol of whatever it takes to get, if we can do it, if that's possible. I don't have an issue with that, but I think my issue came in was, if we're going to do it, let's follow the proper channels. Let's guys get with me, because ultimately I would have to be the one to present this information back to the city. But again, it's been misstated so many different ways and turned around, and it's causing confusion with information given to our community. And again, I don't want confusion with it. We have enough stuff going on with the community on stuff like that. But again, I want to build a relationship with the city and keep a relationship with the city, but at the same time, I want to do it the right way. And again, I have given open invitation for you guys from here to come to any of our homeowners meetings. And when we say open invitation, most people know what an open invitation means. It means if the mayor says, my door is always open, you can come talk to me at any point in time. I don't think that means you just walk right in your door at any given time. It means call me, we'll set arrangements to come in there, correct? That's what open invitation means. If I don't say open invitation, what that means, thank you.
Why don't we just, to kind of clear everything up, we don't get Mr. Hilliard to just explain to the public the basic concept of what it takes to get a speed hump.
Yes.
So we all will be on the same page.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Bill, do you mind explaining?
No, I'd rather have a copy in front of me because I hadn't read it in about a year.
Okay.
So.
But that's on the website.
It's on the website, yeah.
We all use the website.
Yeah, it's a step 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
Right.
Yeah, it's pretty self-explanatory, but I can't quote it word for word.
Well, I guess whatever, does the city determine how many go on the subdivision or how many streets actually get them, or is that
You looked at it on the website?
Yes, but it doesn't like really go into the details saying like, it isn't how many feet roughly from a stop sign and stuff like that, but again, like, I know who's told, every street wouldn't get them if it got it anyway, that's what I was saying.
It's detailed in the application, everything is there for you to read.
But a certain percentage of your residents would have to want speed bumps for you to get them anyway. I think it's 67%, I believe it is. They have to sign that petition, they have to sign saying that they are in agreement with getting speed bumps. So it would come from you gathering those individuals in your community, in your subdivision, signing that, indicating that that's what they want.
All right, we'll research that a little bit and get back with you guys on that. Thank you for your time.
Jennifer Likes, do you want to make a public comment? You have 3 minutes to address us.
Okay. My name is Jennifer Likes, and I have a student at Clear High School. I don't know if all y'all are familiar with the recent event that happened there. Apparently there was, let me start by saying, I know this is not only y'all, it goes with the Shelby County Board of Education as well, but the reason why I come to you is because recently there was a smell of marijuana throughout the entire school that was almost unbearable. And I personally, my child had to be checked out of school. Another child in her class was throwing up from the smell because it was so potent. They also had to put purifiers throughout the school. And the reason why I come to you is because I believe if we had more resource officers in the school, they would be able to walk through the school and smell, say like walk by a student and smell that smell on the student to where it wouldn't go throughout the entire school. I know right now we're doing the best we can with what we have. I know Chief Heitch has personally come in and asked for, more money for resource officers. We need more resource officers. And I'm 100% in agreement with him that if we had more at the school, that it would help in situations like this. I'm not saying that it would completely stop it because they're high schoolers, they do dumb things, but I believe that it would help. And I mean, that's what I'm here for, just maybe consider it. I'm not sure what that all entitles to, but if there's anything we can do for my child to be at school for an entire day versus having to check out because of the smell of marijuana. And that's it.
All right, thanks.
Thank you.
That's all I have on my agenda.
I'll make a motion to adjourn.